apologies.
Good morning! Coming to you live from Max Speedy Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay! Didn't want to yell on the mic there, Tom. And this is the first hour of the live stream, Axe Ministries live stream telethon, hour number 1 of 12 for today. Now, tomorrow there's going to be a whole other 12 hours. So it's going to be, I'll have to redo some of the stuff here, but that's okay. Wait for the hook. We always wait for the hook of the song, you know. This guy sounds familiar, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and back that off. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
My name's Tom.
Tom Fowler of the State Bank of Southwest Missouri is here today, sponsoring this hour of the broadcast, the 12-hour broadcast. How you doing this morning, Tom?
Doing great.
It's good to have you here. You look really sharp with the tie and the suspenders.
Yeah, it's my uniform. I'm a banker.
You're a banker.
Yeah, so I have to wear the tie.
Yeah, I would be wearing my suit coat right now, but we ran out of time, so later I'll be wearing it.
Awesome.
I have my suspenders.
I have to wear suspenders.
I wear mine underneath my shirt.
Do you?
Yeah.
Item, huh?
Well, I've got, these are rainbow suspenders. They're like the Mork from Mork.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great show. Anyways, so as of right now, we've got my son Tanner. That's him over there across from us. We're glad to have everybody with us today. We're excited about today, nervous and excited all at the same time. Because right now we're broadcasting live over YouTube, Facebook, and axeradio.com, which I got to make sure we get set up on that. And you said you had a question for Tom just a second ago before I interrupted you.
Oh, well, I have a bunch of questions, but it was going well without all that. So I was just curious about how you got into banking and how long you've been into banking.
Well, I got in because my dad asked me to join the bank. I had gone through high school. My dad had started a small bank in Springfield. There were only 5 banks at that time. State Bank of Southwest Missouri. And
we're getting ready to run the address across the screen here, too.
yeah, it was one branch out on East Sunshine. Started 38 years ago. And right now there's one branch on East Sunshine. Been there for 38 years. So my dad asked me to jump into banking after I'd gone to law school, which didn't make much sense to me, but I love my dad, and he's a great guy. So
You were there when the first bank opened?
I was alive. Wasn't working. He didn't even hire me as a teller. So I had to get an advanced degree before he'd even consider hiring me. We've got a lot of great people at the bank, and it's been a good, really good for my life to be a banker. I like helping people. That's my core. And there's people all need money, and so being a banker and a loan officer, I really enjoy my job, helping people get what they need.
Do you feel like it helps you to know more about the community that you serve in?
Oh, absolutely. We are a community bank. Our money stays local. Dr. Paul Collins talks about the vortex principle, as he calls it, where you just keep that money swirling around among ourselves. And so we don't lose any of it here in the Ozarks. And so we like the community banking. We're very involved in the community. We just recently this fall on a mini golf tournament over at Getaway Golf out on East Sunshine, all the way past 65. And we supported the Askinosie University, where they take young individuals from high school and they scholarship them and send them over to Tanzania or one of these countries where they produce chocolate beans. Ooh. And so they teach them about sourcing and the cost of doing business. And
Who doesn't love chocolate?
Well,
what a great partnership.
Is that a third world or country or what?
Absolutely, and that's Sean Askinosie started Askinosie Chocolate, and that's kind of the farm-to-table type thing where
so that's building an economy.
Yeah, he's going directly to the growers, creating relationships, helping them be more productive, and it's a wonderful program that he set up in conjunction with the chocolate company.
Have you had the chocolate?
Oh, yeah. I like
the way you say that.
Yeah, Askinosie chocolate's very unique. It's very it's really dark, and I guess there are a lot of health benefits to dark chocolate, and I like dark chocolate. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And peanut butter. I
So-
scooped the peanut butter out with it.
Yeah. So the bank is involved in the community. We do a lot for small charities and those that bank with us. The local kid comes in, puts money in a savings account. Hey, I need you to sponsor my baseball team. No problem. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, and that's a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Mutual.
Yeah.
And here you are helping to sponsor Axe Television Network,
Correct.
which is really good. We really appreciate that. Helping
And
us.
over 30 some odd years, you've gotten to see people grow in the community, and so you've seen children become men.
Well, I'm
And-
getting
and-
to the point in my career after doing this 20 years that now I'm starting to see my clientele's kids getting into college. So all that planning with my clients years ago to prepare for that day.
Yeah.
It's been really rewarding. And now they're
bet.
getting married, and their kids are getting married, and unfortunately the cycle of life. It's just back in the Great Depression, not recession, depression. The number one group to commit suicide at that time were bankers.
Really.
And at that time, they were all community bankers.
Yeah.
And why? Because they were having to foreclose on their friends and their neighbors. And that's truly what community banking is. It's being there as a support, as part of the family team.
Yeah.
You have your doctor, you have your dentist, you have your banker. Once you get to know everybody, things go a lot smoother, and that you build your team around your family. So.
Hence the local money.
That's
really good.
keep it local.
Yeah.
Right on. I want to know more about what we're doing today with the
Telethon?
telethon. Yeah.
Well, sorry. I have forgot to put this on there. We were kind of in a rush this morning. All right, so a lot of things are going to happen today. We got, I'm just going to go through a brief list of the schedule that we've got for today. Brief list. From 8 to 9, we're going to have you on here. I'm sure you already know that by now.
I think I'm here.
Okay, good. I didn't know if we was going to have to call you and remind you or not. That was a joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't too funny, was it? From 9 to 10, we got the Crosswalk of Hope, and First Acts Church has sponsored that one. 10 to 11, Natural Solutions Store, Go Natural with Dennis Everson and Pam Whining. That's going to be fun. 11 to noon, First Acts Church in the Helping Hands Fund. I will be hosting that one, apparently. I'll be talking to Jim and Robert Wilkie. Noon to noon 30, or 12:30. Yeah. Kyle Insurance, and we're going to be talking to Adam Kyle. That's Dr. Paul is going to be hosting that show. 12:31, Pam Whining is going to be hosting a show about PayPal pastors and autism awareness. Or PayPal and some of the pastors are the
So
sponsors for that.
autism awareness is one of the things that we're trying to raise money for today. And our network here, you can see we have 3 studios that we set up. We want to keep this running. We want to build a network where people can tune in, see people from all different walks of life that they may be able to relate to or that they aspire to relate to.
Yeah.
And relate that and be Christian friendly because we're Christians.
Well,
So we
see,
want to keep this going.
we have started. We started just in his house in just a little bitty homemade studio that was no bigger than a closet, really. And we started on axradio.com, and no video, just audio. We did record some and post them, and since then we built it up till what you see now. We're simulcasting on numerous platforms. And we are raising money and helping other programs, like Autism Awareness. We have a veterans program, the Veterans Church, as far as being able to. There's a veterans crisis hotline that they put out all over the place, and they get to talk
Crosswalk
about.
of Hope right now is taking in men and women and families who are coming out of prison and in difficult lifestyles. They help them get back on their feet. They mentor them in the Lord and in the Holy Spirit and help them to get jobs and reintroduce them into the community with some idea of how to function in a different way than what they're used to. So they redirect them.
Great
we also
ministry.
have what's Marsha's ministry is
Clean Sweet Ministry.
Clean Sweet Ministries. Now that is the same type of program specifically aimed at women. So that's one of the programs. Those are 2 of the programs. Plus, this is also supporting Dr. Paul Collins. Many years ago, started Acts Church, right?
Correct.
And so this is also supporting that. That's part of this. That's actually what all of this is built off of. He sort of mentored us. We were able to come in and get close to him. We went to his house and sat in his basement and listened to him teach. He taught us a lot of things. So that's also one of the ministries that we're supporting through this telethon. So there's a lot of things. Autism awareness, they've done a lot of things for that. We actually put on a concert at a raceway here in Springfield, and it was an artist came and sang, and we did a concert out there with their bleachers, and we set up our system and played out there. That was for autism awareness. We had what's that motorcycle club that came to that show, Matt?
Itis Virtus.
Itis Virtus came out, and they supported us. So we do all kinds of things, and there's this Acts Ministry and Acts Media Group and Acts Media Network, all of these things that you see with the name Acts on it. Really what that is a network of different ministries that come in, and we support them and talk about them. That's why they have shows that they actually come on. They come on our show, talk about their ministries, and we just try to make and bring people together. We have a lot of really great shows right now, and it's incredible to see. You know, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and so through Acts Ministry and through these connections, I get to see both. I never forget where I came from, because I see these ministries that are connected to Acts that are helping people get out of prison and recover and change their lives. But I also see people who are like yourself, who's a banker, who's working in the community, and who has, you know, and I have somebody to aspire to be like, and I'm exposed to people from all different walks of life who have really done something and changed their life and are growing. I also get to see him, young man, an artist, actor. He's also a musician who's writing his own music, and he's going to be in a competition, which you can vote on it with $1.
Starting at 6 p.m. today.
Yeah,
It's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
And 6 to 8 tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
Matt's a musician. He's one that our system that we did that concert at the raceway, the
Right.
system that they played on was one that we built for his band, and we worked in the community. Any
That was our band you heard,
ministry,
the opening music.
Right.
Any
Well done.
ministry
Thank
that
you.
didn't have money to put on a show or to hire talent, we would go and do it for free and bring our own system for them to work with. So those are the kinds of things that we do, and there's much, much more than that. Now, right now, I think a lot of times we just, you know, give it all. We give it all of ourselves, and we get the support where we can. And so that's really what this is about, is trying to gain support for all of those ministries that come to Acts and come together in this place where so many people can benefit. And with these media, you know, with this simulcasting, we want to be able to grow a television network, at least for my part of it, a television network where there's, like what I've benefited from, where people can come in and see all different ministries from all different walks of life, find a place where they can help and do God's work and learn something and grow. You know? And that's what we want to build here at Acts Television.
I was going to say, that's really what ministry is about. And I mean, it's really interesting seeing it and like how, and I haven't gotten very far yet in my music, and it's just really interesting in seeing just how networking works. And like, I'm only at the beginning. Like, I've gotten a few gigs up in the city that I'm going to start doing, and I'm talking to local artists, and I'm talking to even local graphic design artists so that they can work on designing some of my stuff that aren't necessarily extremely well known. But the thing is like, as I grow and as I keep producing
Want
stuff,
them to grow as well.
yeah, exactly. And that's what ministry is about, and that's what good business is about too. I mean, you want to do business that helps you both. Generally, there's always something that you guys are, both of you are wanting out of a certain engagement.
Quid pro quo, I think they say. You know, one hand washes the other.
Heard
Right?
a lot about quid pro quo lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, in politics.
No, I'm not even going to go there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
I haven't
we-
had
we'd be here.
coffee.
We'd take up the whole entire 12 hours just talking about the insanity that's going on right now.
But now, Tom, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a ministry as well.
Yes, sir. It's called Christian Media Ministries, and it's a collective. It's a group of people that want to give in their lives. We showcase, we educate, and we encourage others to use their God-given gifts, their talents, to move the kingdom forward.
wow.
And so this collective group, some of us are artists, some of us are stewards, and we all bring different talents and we apply those and we help each other. This last year at Christmas time, we had a show that we put on called Christmas at the Fox.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was a very good show, and it was kind of unique how it came together. A guy by the name of Nate Sally moved to town, and Nate was the lead singer of New Song back when they were the top praise band in the world, and he was standing on stages in front of 70,000 people, and yeah, he moved to town. Yeah, and he was real deal, and he liked the mission of Christian Media Ministries and jumped in, and he hosted the Christmas at the Fox last year. The goal was to bring more awareness to what's going on downtown, kind of bring something nice down there.
So downtown Springfield, Missouri, that's where the Fox Theater
Yeah,
is.
the Fox Theater sits on the northwest corner of downtown Square, and the History Museum's there now. The McQuarrie family and a number of others got together, and they created a history museum on the square. It's now open, and it is well worth your time to go by and check this out.
So is it also a museum?
It is a museum. Now, next door is the Fox, and it hasn't been renovated yet. It's still an old lady, and it's got great bones, but it needs some work right now.
So you have two buildings.
So the History Museum sits on the corner, and
It used to be a bar called the High Life.
yeah,
Years
at
and
one
years
time.
ago.
St. Tom, what was that? St. Michael's.
Yeah.
St. Michael's before that, and now I'm dating myself, so. Yeah.
It's better you do that than other people.
And what types of media do you focus on? Are you specifically involved with right now? Because when I think of media, I think of radio, television, social media, networking.
We've over the years been able to help people with books.
Books? I
Yes.
didn't even think of that.
I wish I would have brought one, but I had a man, Jackson Wright. The Holy Spirit came on Jackson, and he became obsessed with the crucifix nail. And so he did research and found that the only known crucifix nail is one that the Catholic Church has, and I believe it's at Notre Dame, and it had the tendon and the heel bone still attached to the nail. It was a carpenter nail. It was about that big. They had turned the ankle that way on top of the board, so they drove it in sideways
Bone.
into the back of behind the Achilles. Yeah.
The strong place that would hold it.
So he got to looking at that, and he said, this isn't really something that would be very practical to hold somebody down and put them on the cross. And so he prayed and prayed and prayed, and before long, he came up with a design that happened to be 7.77 inches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so he was led in this.
So is he an engineer?
He's just a jack of all trades, Jack. So
Right.
But God took him, and he made these knives, got them mass produced, and then out of the blue turns them over to our ministry. Says, do what you will with them.
Have you given any to Acts Ministry?
I've given a few
You
to
brought-
Paul Collins.
You brought some to one of the banquets, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I actually have one of those at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing how like the tip of it's bent just slightly, so whenever they pound it in, it goes in at an angle.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Yeah, and it's not a small nail.
No, it is a great witness tool. If you hand that to someone, say, my Savior was put on the cross with this, and they hold that in their hand, it sends chills.
It's a perspective.
It really is.
Yeah.
So that's an example of what Christian Media Ministry
Steve?
does.
So do you have, what is it, editors? Or
We've got
Dennis,
just a collective of all sorts
Marcia,
of different.
Larry?
who looks at
Thank
the
you.
books and decides? So do you guys publish? Is that it?
We have outlets for publishing, and so we're kind of a source center in a way. And so when we've had people approach us, like right now, we're working with the Mansion down in Branson.
That's a huge theater.
It is a monster.
I think
And,
I saw
yeah,
Jars of Clay in concert there back whenever I was about 17. 18, something like that.
The mansion, if you go to their website, they've got a bunch of really good quality acts that come on, and Larry Wilhite, the man that runs the mansion, he has a large heart for Christ, and so he's working in Christian entertainment as much as possible. He'd like to turn the mansion into a full Christian event center, but the secular stuff does pay the bills. So,
Yeah.
right now, the deal with the mansion, we're in talks with them to start with Nate Sally. We're in talks with them to have a show in February, and the topic's going to be love, of course. It's a great month for that.
Great topic.
And so we're going to take, I guess the Greek had 7 different words for love. And they
As they did for hell as well.
Yeah, so they define it very, very well. And so with this show, we're going to have 8 5-minute segments with this show, 2.5 minutes introduction, 2.5 minutes on the way out, and then 7 5-minute segments that we're going to devote to each one of those words.
That is grand.
Nice.
That's amazing.
So we're
Wow.
really looking forward to seeing
And
what
so
comes
you've been
out of this.
researching the words?
Oh yeah,
Do you have
little
a
bit.
favorite?
Well, Eros, of course.
Eros?
Yeah.
Right.
I've been married for a long time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so after 26 years of marriage, I'm still totally in love with my wife, and so I don't know. We've had a lot of people the Holy Spirit have brought to us to fill in each one of those 7, and it's funny how you get in the flow, the Holy Spirit just takes you, and people start arriving, and we pray about it, and
do those
doors
different
open.
words, does it in a way understanding the meaning of the 7 different words of love, and like you said, the Holy Spirit has brought meaning to each one of them, and a story
right
to each of those words where you can demonstrate love. So do you think in a way that can help people, because some people like me would have difficulty with boundaries, so do you think those different words can help a person understand the boundaries of different types of love?
Absolutely. I think the main goal of this is to showcase, educate, and encourage. So each one of these segments, for example, we're in communication with Builders International. They're a local Assemblies of God ministry that basically takes, if your church would like to build a school in a foreign country, and your ministry, you have a mission to go on, they facilitate it. They get you from point A to point B, and
Who is they again?
Builders International.
Builders International.
And so there are stories that showcase that love, those different words that Builders International has encountered overseas in towns where a church has been planted and changed everything in that community overseas.
That's amazing.
And so we're going to tell some stories with them, and that's the point behind podcasts as I see it. It's really, really growing right now. According to a number I heard last week, 100 million people subscribe to podcasts and enjoy those.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
And they're actually listening.
So we're getting ready to do a. I'm still getting used to all this stuff, so we're gonna have to break in every 15 minutes for a commercial. So let's go ahead and do that right now. It's close enough to 8:30.
Are we looking at you again?
Yeah, we'll be looking at me, and
I don't know that I have. There you are.
yeah, and then also pull up the. Well, I don't have the number
The
up here.
phone number.
I got to get the phone number.
Are you ready?
Continue talking real quick while I put the phone number up here.
Pardon, go ahead.
So it sounds like you have a pretty busy life with all of these things together. And I guess that's why you said, what, Eros?
Oh, yeah.
Having a
Yeah.
partner
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
got to be vital in managing that much of a...
Having a support. I was thinking about being alone the other day and not having my wife, and how it would change everything, and how things, after 26 years of working together and communicating, and that's really the key to long marriage is communication.
Right.
And so
And it's not always easy.
Oh, no,
communication either.
no. You have your valleys and you have your highs, so
Yeah.
you just...
That's why you described it as working together. I like that.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I found is and in recovery, is I found that a lot of idealistic portrayals of what something should be are the way we try to define them.
Oh,
And
brother,
what we expect
this
from
thing
them.
has changed everything.
Yeah.
These kids today are growing up, and everybody, it's a snapshot of their best.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and
it.
it's
And they've got
all
filters now too.
Oh yeah, you
So-
can make yourself sound better, look better, whatever.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I am ready for a commercial now.
Okay.
It's gonna be
And
fun.
you're there.
Am I there already?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
And the
watch
number
this.
is up.
Hey, the number is up, 417-597-4821. You're wondering, hey, what are we doing here today? It is 12 hours of nonstop good times. There's going to be loads of information, so when you're watching, be sure and, get a pen and paper out, or at least be ready to take a note down, a number, something like that. The website that I've got down there now is axmediagroup.com. You want to go there and see everything that we have going on. We have the Real News Review. We have autism awareness programs. We have veterans programs. We have all of our television programs are on there and available to you as well. It's a lot of fun. Now the number that you're seeing down below is so that you can donate to us. Every dollar counts, folks. We are trying to continue to be able to do the right thing throughout the next year until our next telethon, which I have all faith in God that we are going to be able to continue to do this. We want to do the right thing. We want you to do the right thing, and you can help us by donating today.
There's something going
Oh,
on.
we're getting a picture taken over there. Look over there, everybody. Say hi.
Hey there, how you guys?
Morning.
So this is all part Pam Whining, Jim's wife, and she's also the treasurer, and she's a big part of Acts ministry behind the scenes. So, and then of course there's Bishop Jim Whining back there. He's in charge of the whole ordeal. So it's not an ordeal. This is a lot of fun, and we're doing it because it's necessary. We have programs that we want to continue to do to help people and to do the right thing, and we want you to feel good about where your donations are going. So continue to watch throughout the day and see all the things that we are going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a cooking show later. It's going to be a lot of fun. We did a small cooking show before just to test everything and make sure it was all right, and it turned out pretty good. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and go back to the action
Smells
here.
really good in here.
It was really good. Bye, everybody.
We just need some chocolate chip cookies baking in that little toaster oven right there, and that will really bring them in.
We cook those at the bank every day.
Do you really?
Yeah, we go
That's
through
brilliant.
about 6 dozen cookies, maybe 8 dozen a day, and chocolate chip, baby.
It's a good
Otis
investment.
Spunkmeyer, hot out of the oven.
Chocolate chip
yeah,
cookies are my
sounds so
favorite
good.
investment.
Makes the
Chocolate
bank
chip
so
And
good.
ice cream.
Yep.
My kids and I used to. One of the things that I did to bring us together as a family is we would make a double batch of peanut butter cookies, and we would mix it all up. And I got the kids doing this, and we would cook these and bake these big giant peanut butter cookies, and we would get ice cream. We would let them cool. Of course, we'd eat 2/3 of them.
Uh-huh.
Some of it even before it was cooked. And then we would take these cookies
Oh, wow.
and we would
Thanks, Jim.
Chocolate chip muffin
Yeah,
from Jim.
put these big scoops of ice cream on them and flatten them out, and then we'd wrap them up in some is it the plastic wrap or saran wrap, and then we would put them in the freezer and freeze them and eat them later.
Yeah, you just remind me. I remember my mom's
They're good
spatula
frozen.
had those openings in it.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
push
the
down.
And you push down on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I always used a fork.
Ah.
You do, and it makes a really good.
Now,
Like-
I like the ones that are tender on the inside but crisp on the
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
And I found that when you roll it in the ball, you roll it around in the sugar, then you flatten it. It's the sugar that glazes into that crisp. It's a candied outside shell.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's not
Are
where
we making cookies today?
I know.
I'm
we
actually
have-
making homemade beef stroganoff here in a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got some chili beef, and it looks like the regular ground beef, but the coils are like real fat. So I'm gonna cook that up, and we got some egg noodles. We got some. You guys will just see. It takes at least 30 to 40, probably about 45 minutes to complete it from start to finish. We're also gonna have some garlic toast to go along with it, and like a couple of dollops of sour cream in there.
Who's going to be here for lunch?
You can come on up here for lunch. There'll be plenty, believe me. I got 2 pounds of beef and
I'm gonna be here.
like 2 pounds of egg noodles. So
I was presuming that's gonna be my lunch.
probably. Well, yeah, probably.
I love egg noodles. They're like, I'm a texture person when it comes to food, and pasta and bread and just potatoes.
I like egg noodles with butter and salt and garlic just mixed together. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, and you guys are killing me. I've been doing keto for the last 6 months.
Oh, so that muffin in your face is the worst thing that Jim could have done.
Jim,
Good job, Jim.
Hey, it's been good though. I've lost 56 pounds doing and got into ketosis.
Well, this is a church ministry, so we'll just call those holy calories.
Oh, they are.
I had to do a whole research paper. We had to do a
Does
long
that mean you
research.
can't eat that?
You can't eat it.
Because keto is a very chemically
It's
specific.
ketogenesis is what okay, so I've been doing some research
So,
on this.
Yeah,
so
you know.
now breaking the diet, though, really changes the chemistry in a
If you
drastic-
break it every once in a while, after about they recommend after about 3 or 4 months, then you can break it maybe one snack a day, like be a sweet snack. But the idea of it is it's essentially like the Atkins diet in that it's a low carb diet. They recommend no more than 30 carbs a day. I believe it's 30.
Well, as for everybody's different depending on their body mass size and all that. But the long and short is, as I understand it, and I'm not a medical doctor, but the glucose, the sugars, those get burned first, and then you burn your carbs second. Your body kind of goes in order.
converts-
It converts, yeah.
It converts your carbs into sugar
Yep.
and then burns it.
So
So-
the diet adjusts as you lose weight.
Yeah, so you cut out your sugars, your refined sugars, your Cokes, just try and stay away from sugar. Barbecue sauce has sugar in it.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah, so you go with the mustard sauce rather than the stuff you really like.
But not mustard barbecue sauce.
No, you can. Yeah,
The sweet stuff?
No, I'm talking like at City Butcher down the street here on Sunshine. Half pound of brisket with some mustard sauce, and that's yeah.
Oh man.
See,
By itself.
I'm a meat smoker myself. I'm a self-proclaimed pit master,
Hey, that's all right.
and I've
I
made
proclaim him that as well.
the last time I
good,
made a
yeah.
brisket, it came off, and I had it the last couple hours in foil with the mop sauce. I dumped the rest of the mop
Render
sauce.
it, yeah.
But there's like a pat that you put on it, like instead of rub, it's a pat, and then as you do the mop sauce, it becomes a candied shell. So whenever I had it all bound up in aluminum foil, when I pulled it off after 10 hours, it still jiggled, right? And I thought, oh, how is this thing not done? And then I opened it up, and it fell apart. I didn't even have to shred it. And then all that crust, that candy crust, became a bunch of little smoky, sweet, crunchy bits all throughout the whole entire thing. My mouth is watering so much right now.
Yeah, I love smoking meat. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
Real
Yeah.
pink magenta ring around everything. And, oh, yeah.
They
so
say
good.
you only get that in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I usually...
Right.
I usually have a really low heat but high smoke for the first couple hours, and then I worry more about the heat. Bring it up to about between 250 and 280 for the next like 6 or 7 hours, depending on the cut of meat. Of course, you want to figure on about 1 hour per pound of brisket, and of course, pork shoulder, you're going to do twice that. If you want it to fall apart like you do, the last time I did one of those, I stabbed it a bunch of times and infused it with whole cloves of garlic, and then smoked it for 18 hours. And then it then we had barbecue. I have a homemade barbecue sauce that I make that I'm not going to tell people the recipe because it really is really good, that I discovered on accident whenever I came home from the hospital after surgery. And I was inebriated off of pain medicine, and I thought, let me try this. And I started with, ketchup, essentially, and used brown sugar, liquid smoke, and then
Can't go wrong with
a
brown
wide
sugar.
variety of spices, and there was even some habanero relish in there. And, oh, man, I had people wanting me to bottle it and jar it up, and they were wanting to buy some of it.
Sounds
It goes with everything. It goes with chicken, beef, pork, even fish. I even had it on fish. It's got just enough tanginess for fish. Has quite a bit of stuff in it. But anyways, yeah, mixed some of that in there and shredded it
It's
all
like
up
a
and
foreign language to me.
had pulled pork butt. Oh man,
delicious.
Oh, my.
Delicious.
it was
I had
two
some-
18-pound roasts.
Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is a new barbecue place out on East Battlefield, and boy, it has some. It's right up there with City Butcher. Those are my two favorite. They're too expensive, but
Worth it.
yeah, it's good stuff.
You know, smoked beef is expensive because it's time consuming.
Takes a
That's
long
one of the
time.
reasons I
Low
love it
and
so much.
slow.
It's so involved. You know, yeah, you can grab like little 10, 15, 20-minute naps in between, like mopping and stuff like that, and the mop sauce, which
So do you use wood, or do you do propane? What's your heat source?
I prefer. I have a cabinet smoker, and I usually use cherry chips right now, but I prefer an actual smoker, offset smoker.
Double
and-
barrel.
Double
Yep.
barrel. Use the. I prefer, like, if you want more heat, pecan wood is really good, and it also gives it that really rich pecan aftertaste. But I prefer apple and cherry and hickory.
Yeah, me
Oak
too.
is just too bitter for me. I don't like it. It just tastes kind of. The first, sorry, for lack of better sound effects. The first thing I ever smoked was a 10-pound brisket on one of those barrel water smokers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Where you build the charcoal
Little
up and then you
boilers.
set the thing over it. Yeah. And then there's a pan of water that goes over that, and it's just basically like a chimney. And I sat out there, and it was wintertime.
Yeah, mine too. First
And
one was a ham.
I'm sitting out there for 10 hours smoking this. And the wood chips I used were former Jack Daniels whiskey barrels.
Yep.
And the smoke coming out of it was green. But it tasted really good. Now, whenever I'd used hickory and cherry, that was even better. We need to have a smoking show. We need to do a smoking segment.
That's what I
I'll
was.
come
record it.
back.
Record it and play it over the deal.
Pipes out the windows.
But
No.
bring samples.
I'm
and
talking about
invite
recorded
me.
at the house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then watch it as a segment. And of course, we can have Tom Fowler on to do the taste
And a
testing.
bunch of
I'd
people
love
over
that.
to
Yeah.
eat.
And me. Don't forget me.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll probably do that in here before long. I just got to get a better smoker. Mine is like 6 or 7 years old now,
Wow.
and so I
Meyer Mixon can beat you with a trash can. I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Some of those guys can smoke with anything, and it turns out wonderful.
yeah, and you can. I mean, you can even use if you have a big enough charcoal grill. That could be an offset smoker too.
Right,
You build the coals in one side and put the meat on the other, and you can even put like a piece of aluminum foil to divide to keep more of the heat, shield it from some of the heat.
Like a flue.
Yeah. So, and you know, I was starting to think about building an actual a cold smoker. Okay, so that's how they smoke cheeses.
Right.
You put the cheese in, then you have you would think it would be like a one of those coil hoses for a dryer, like a dryer hose, a long distance, and then you have a little smoke box that you build your little fire in, and by the time the smoke goes through here, it's already cooled off. And
yeah,
then
I
it
tried to
smokes.
smoke cheese one time. Anyway, that,
Did
Not a fan of that.
well, it tasted great.
Did it make you cough a lot?
Just a lot of it ended up under the grate.
yeah.
Oh right.
That's
right.
why you have
Got
to have
a
a
little
long.
too hot.
Oh right.
That's why you got to have the long.
Trying to make some.
Yeah.
That's why you need the long accordion type hose, because by the time it gets from the fire to that, it's only about like 80 degrees.
Right.
You know, give or take. I'm pretty sure that the further out you go, the better it be. But it should be adjustable depending. You know, crinkle it in whenever you want it to be a hotter smoke and crinkle
Yeah,
it
it's
out.
just a great hobby, and
I need to get a grant for that.
Delicious hobby.
Yeah.
Is anybody hungry?
And that doesn't interfere with your diet. The keto.
Oh no.
No, high fat
Yeah.
meat.
Oh yeah.
So meat, cheeses.
I'll smoke a
basically.
turkey that'll make you want to slap your mama.
No.
They got to slap your mama's sauce out.
Oh yeah.
Heard of that?
Yeah, it's good
Have you
stuff.
ever? You never had my smoked turkey.
I think I have.
You had my smoked brisket.
I think I've had you smoke turkey,
Yeah.
didn't I?
Well, it takes 2 days to prepare
I don't
before you smoke it,
Mm.
because you got to let it cure in the seasonings.
I like running the smoker in the fall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's best.
Fall is the best season for that. And for
I like the winter.
camping and bonfires.
Yeah.
Oh, fall. Is
I'm a big
great.
fan of doing it in the wintertime too. I've stood out there in 8 inches of snow, shivering, but my hands are warm because it's in front of the smoker. You have to put more wood on the fire.
Yeah,
you know.
got to keep it stoked.
But other than that, man, you're talking my language. I could talk about that all day. All day. I could do it every day. But
I could eat it every day.
Yeah. Well, see, whenever you're done, when you've been smoking something for like 10 or 12 hours, by the time it's done,
You've already had your dinner.
you've been like, you're like, I'll wait till tomorrow to eat some of that. Because you've been like peeling little pieces off here and there throughout the day, or just smelling the smoke all day. Of course, that smell, the smell of smoke, like on your clothes and stuff, like wood smoke, I think they should make a cologne of that stuff.
I don't know. My daughter doesn't like it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people who have digestion issues don't like, because I like a more heavy, smoke.
Yeah.
It looks like we're losing some bandwidth.
Huh. My Wi-Fi's off, so.
Is yours flashing yellow over there, Jay?
No.
Mine is. But that's, if someone's on our Wi-Fi, we probably ought to.
So what kind of attention would you like your ministry to get?
Well, being on here is a good thing. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, we thank you for your.
How would
for your
somebody
help.
find it, be involved
Well,
with it, take
right now-
advantage of it if they
Right
need?
now, they can go to our website, cmmnow.com, cmmnow.com, and it needs some updating, but it'll give you a flavor for what's going on, and we'll be putting out more information about the show in February. The intention is this is a pilot, so if we get this pulled off and it works, then we're going to have a Sunday afternoon show monthly to start with a different topic every month, and we'll be all over the board. We're going to explore life. Podcasts are great for history and for teaching, and so we're going to dive into a lot of Christian themes. Today, when I woke up and said my prayers and asked for guidance today, giving came to mind. And I know we're having a telethon today and that we're trying to raise some funds, but that wasn't where my mind was at the time. And I wanted to share that, there's nothing that is more Christ-like than giving.
Right.
He spent his life giving everything to us. And when we do that for our fellow humans, that is Christ-like. And so giving of your time and your money, and there's nothing more. Help these ministries get the word out, spread the gospel, and acts as a great place to send some money so that it's in good hands with good stewards. And we need help to move all these ministries forward, and this is a big conglomerate of ministries.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a group.
We're
of
talking about
people.
Acts Ministries,
Yes.
Acts Television Network, Acts Media Group.
Yeah, and
So that's kind of our commercial that we were getting ready to take. So good job.
all right, well,
You've done this before.
That's what it's about, though. It truly is, and having the support of our brothers and sisters in Christ to throw some money here
Pull up the phone
and help
number.
us keep this all moving is important. We'd encourage you with Christian Media Ministries to check in on our website, check in on our Facebook, Christian Media Ministries, and keep up to speed with what we're going to be offering here. This is about to take off, and it's going to glorify the Lord, and it's going to be a wonderful deal down in Branson at the mansion. So you can also check in with the mansion, see what they're offering. Like I said, they're trying to make it a Christian theater and provide more Christian entertainment and events.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the type of things we want to support. That's what we do.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. The more we get, the longer we can do, and the more we can do. Jonathan Cressman says, good morning. Steve Schultz, good morning.
Good morning.
Paul Collins, morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Scott Holland, I already told you that. Dennis Code, they'll be on here in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around real quick there, Jay.
To you?
Yes. I'm going to leave those numbers up here, okay? Our sponsor, of course. This hour is brought to you by Tom Fowler at State Bank of Southwest Missouri. We're running the ticker across the bottom of the screen, so you have the address to be able to go down there if you're needing a loan, or if you just want to say hi to Tom. I'm sure he wouldn't mind you guys coming in and saying hi. But you can also donate to us via telephone, 417-597-4600. 4821. We have operators standing by to take your call right now as we speak. Really nice lady. I'm pretty sure Pam Whining would be the one to answer right now. But yeah, this is something that I'm very proud to be a part of. Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and never thought that I would be here. For those of you who don't know, I used to be pretty big into drugs and alcohol, and this is one of the things that God put in my life to help to keep me busy and help to keep me sober and help to keep me out of trouble. So I'm very, very thankful for this ministry. Had it not been for them, I don't know where I'd be right now. I know that I wouldn't be here. But whenever you serve the Lord and you dedicate everything you can to Him, He will. I mean, you're rewarded with the feeling of just, I can't even explain it. But yeah, so thank you guys so far for tuning in thus far. I'm going to go ahead and get us back to the action. But remember, check out axmediagroup.com and see all the stuff. So you can see what's going on there. Plus, you can see some of our old shows. But anyways, back to you guys. All right, Tom Fowler.
Well, I'm going to jump in and talk a little bit about banking right now, and there are a couple things I'd like to share with the audience. And number one, fraud is rampant right now. There are people in this world that have computers that are trying to steal everything you have. Don't fool yourself. It is all day long. It is a total onslaught. We get numbers at the bank. Our firewall gets hit 30,000 times a day. Knock, 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 knock. They're looking to see if the door's open.
Trying to see if there are unprotected ports.
Yes. So you've got your cyber attacks going. You have your phishing attacks. If you get an email that you don't recognize, do not click on that email. Chances are, more likely than not, that ad or that news that pops up on your email, and we're talking emails.
It'll
here.
give you an IP address. They'll give them your IP address so they can get into your computer, track your keystrokes.
You got it. So those Trojan horses, those things that they're hiding, they're in the email embedded.
Or if people call, that's another thing.
Yeah.
They call you and they ask you, "Hey, I'm with such and such. We need this information."
So yeah, you've got your computer stuff. You've got people. I've got elderly at the bank that are being called and emailed, and they're a lot of. It's unfortunate that in our society that we have so many elderly that are lonely. And I'm telling you, folks, if your parents, they're elderly, you need to check on them. You need to call them daily and check in on them. They get so lonely, and then they get preyed on. And the people preying on them play those heartstrings, and they bring them in. And the next thing you know, the grandparent, the parent, becomes a victim. And they take their money because of their big hearts.
Or their fear.
Or fear. And that's another thing. As well as the economy's going, the elderly really got slaughtered when Obama got into office and lowered the rates down to the point, and we can argue all day long whether that was right or wrong, but they weren't making any money on their investments. And so they had to start living off of their principal instead of their interest. And so they started, getting into their retirement savings and eating it up quicker than they should have. So then, as the money starts running dry, all these get-rich schemes show up through your email or phone calls. And folks, they're desperate. And so they take what's remaining, hoping to make that sounds like going to the casinos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
another thing.
There's no get-rich-quick scheme. Those are so far. It's less than a lightning strike,
And I want to
don't know it until after.
I want to point out another scam that's going around, and they're very, very successful at it because people are afraid of the government. And they'll call and say that you've got a warrant out for your arrest for past taxes or da-da-da-da-da,
Yep.
and that you can settle this today. If you don't, we're going to call the police, and they will be knocking on your door in the next 10 minutes.
I got
type of deal.
Quick story to tell about an elderly gentleman. He gets a call late night, and it's from an area code where his grandson is on the East Coast. Granddad, I'm in the pokey.
Oh, you told this story.
Yeah, and
before.
then the next thing you know, the bailiff gets on the phone. We need some money to get him out. He's been in a wreck. He was in a DWI. Over the next few days, they're asking the old man to get him out, $100 bills in each page of a magazine. Okay, sorry guys, Grandpa, Grandmom, don't do that. That's just wrong.
If they won't take,
you don't send cash in a magazine.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and so, but because of the love this grandfather had for the grandson, and he got played, and they thought he was talking to him, and it was quick. He was in jail, so to speak. Well, this grandfather also had a daughter who was in the FBI in that same area. And so she got involved as he realized he was taken after I'm not even going to tell you how much money, but it was a bunch. He called his daughter, and they raided the place. And it was an apartment on the East Coast that had 12 phone lines in it. And they had tables set up around the room, and each person had a different role in the ruse. So if they needed to call the attorney in this thing, they had an attorney sitting there. If they need the bailiff's number, they had the bailiff. And so they would give this guy numbers, and he would call in, and they had an actor. And it was a well-done organization. If these people just use their talents for good rather than evil, I mean, it's
Really?
ridiculous. So,
You know that noise means it's time for us to get out of here. We got to set up for our next hour. That time went by really
hey guys,
fast.
come by State Bank, 3310 East Sunshine. Come see me. We got cheap loans. Rates are really good right now. Want to help you with your home equity needs, construction, anything like that. Buying a new house, come see me. We got long-term fixed rates down below 4% in the threes. In the threes. That's almost free money. Come see me.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for joining us on the morning drive. First hour of the telethon down, ready to get on to hour number 2. So we got Dennis and Becky Code coming up next, and their guest will be First Acts Church. Dr. Paul Collins will be here for them to be talking to about First Acts Church. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Continue to join us throughout the day. It's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
Tom.
And this has been The Morning Drive.